Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. We will continue with the femoral artery in this video. In the previous video we have seen the femoral triangle and femoral sheath. So again now in this video we will see the important content of the femoral triangle, femoral artery. Femoral artery may be asked as essay for you, and it has various clinical applications also. We should know about the femoral artery in detail. Those who are not subscribed to our channel, do subscribe now so that you will have the continuation of gross anatomy, histology, embryology and also neuroanatomy. So do subscribe now, keep watching the videos. Now we will move on to the topic femoral artery. The main artery of the thigh is the continuation of external iliac artery from the pelvic region, extending from the mid-inguinal point to the distal border of the popliteus. So this external iliac artery is now continuing in the front of the thigh and reaching even the back of the knee up to the distal border of popliteus. It is a continuation only. It does not divide till the distal border of the popliteus, where it divides into anterior and posterior tibial arteries. So the proximal part is called as femoral artery, lying among the knee extensors, otherwise front of thigh muscles. So when it lies in the front of thigh, it is called as femoral artery. Distal part is called as popliteal artery, that is lying in the popliteal fossa, where it lies among the knee flexors, otherwise back of thigh muscles. So this continuation of external iliac artery in the front of thigh is now called as femoral artery. So femoral artery you can see in this picture. So this is the femoral artery from the mid-inguinal point. So students should note the difference between the mid-inguinal point and the midpoint of the inguinal ligament. Midpoint of inguinal ligament is the midpoint between the anterior superior iliac spine and the pubic tubercle. Mid-inguinal point is the midpoint of the between the anterior superior iliac spine and the pubic symphysis. So it extends from the mid-inguinal point to the fifth opening, OSSEOAPONEUROTIC. That means one part of this opening is bone, osseo, and here adductor magnus opening. So that is an aponeurotic. So OSSEOAPONEUROTIC, it has 5 openings, adductor magnus. Through the 5th opening, this femoral artery passes behind to reach the popliteal fossa. So that is the extent from the mid-inguinal point to the 5th OSSEOAPONEUROTIC opening in the adductor magnus. So the course, it lies in the femoral triangle, and here it lies in the adductor canal. So this is the opening in the adductor magnus. It is the 5th opening in the adductor magnus through which the femoral artery passes through and enters the popliteal fossa. So the course, for as like any artery, we have to present the artery as origin, extent, course, relations and branches. The artery courses anteromedially in femoral triangle and adductor canal. How does it enters the triangle? It enters the triangle behind the inguinal ligament. So this is the inguinal ligament. You can see here. So this is the inguinal ligament. It passes behind the inguinal ligament, enters the triangle, leaves the triangle through the apex of the triangle. So apex of the triangle is this. It leaves the triangle and enters the adductor canal through the apex of the triangle beneath the sartorius muscle. It traverses the adductor canal. So this is the roof of the adductor canal is removed. This is the floor of the adductor canal, adductor longus and adductor magnus muscle. So it traverses the adductor canal, leaves through the 5th opening in the adductor magnus, enters the popliteal fossa as the popliteal artery. So still now it has not divided, it is the continuation of external iliac artery only, now named as femoral artery. We will see the relations of the femoral artery in the femoral triangle first, then we will see the relations of the artery in the adductor canal. Relations of the artery in the femoral triangle. So here you can see the artery in the femoral triangle. This is the femoral artery. Anteriorly, fascia lata has been removed. So this is the anterior layer of the femoral sheath. So this is the femoral sheath, anterior layer of femoral sheath, femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve, and it is crossed by one nerve, you can see. So that is the medial femoral cutaneous nerve from lateral to medial side. So this is the branch from the femoral nerve, branch from the anterior division of femoral nerve, that is the medial femoral cutaneous. So important anterior relation of the femoral artery in the femoral triangle is these two nerves, femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve and medial femoral cutaneous nerve. Laterally you can see this is the femoral artery. So in the laterally what is lying is in the upper part lies the trunk of the femoral nerve. In the lower part two branches lie. One is this medial femoral cutaneous nerve. Yes, one is this medial femoral cutaneous nerve and other is this saphenous nerve. So all these form the lateral relations of these two are the branches of branches of the femoral nerve. They form the lateral relations. So here also you can appreciate the lateral relations. Femoral nerve in the upper part, and this is the medial femoral cutaneous nerve in the lower part, and also the saphenous nerve. If you see the medial, these two form the lateral relations. Medial relations is formed by the femoral vein in the upper part, but in the lower part femoral vein is behind the femoral artery. So that is the same. Femoral vein lies medial to the artery in the upper part and behind the artery in the lower part. So we have covered the anterior relations, lateral relations and medial relations. Now the posterior relations of the femoral artery in the femoral triangle. Proximo-distally, the artery rests on the psoas tendon. So this is the psoas tendon, and then this is resting on pectineus, and this lastly it rests on the adductor longus. So it is like resting on all the floor muscles of the femoral triangle from above downwards. Branches of femoral artery in the femoral triangle we will complete, then we will see the course and relations and branches of femoral artery in the adductor canal. Branches of femoral artery in the femoral triangle, we have the superficial branches, 3 branches, and deep branches, and also the muscular branches. Superficial branches, this is the superficial epigastric artery, and this is the superficial circumflex iliac artery, and this is the superficial external pudendal artery. Deep branch, this is the deep external pudendal artery, and muscular branches. Then this main branch is deep branch is the profunda femoris artery. Profunda means deep femoral artery otherwise. So this deep femoral artery is the main branch of femoral artery which will be supplying the other compartments of the thigh. Profunda femoris artery may be asked as separate question for you. Profunda femoris artery, it arises from the lateral side of the femoral artery. So this is the lateral side of the femoral artery. It arises. So this is arising from the lateral side of femoral artery about 3.5 centimeters below the inguinal ligament. Then it courses behind the femoral artery. If you see here, It courses behind the femoral artery. You can appreciate behind the femoral artery, then dips between pectineus and adductor longus. So that is the course. So in this you can understand. So this is the profunda femoris artery. If the side view of adductor region, this muscle is pectineus and this is adductor longus, adductor brevis and adductor magnus, that is the medial side of thigh muscle. The profunda femoris artery passes between pectineus and longus, then between adductor longus and adductor brevis muscle, then between adductor longus and adductor magnus muscle, finally pierces the muscle as the fourth perforating artery. So this is the course of profunda femoris. Now you should have understood clearly the profunda femoris artery, which has taken origin in the front of thigh, has reached the medial side of the thigh. So and then supplies, so by its branches supplies the back of thigh also. So this is an important artery in the thigh. Branches of profunda femoris artery: lateral circumflex femoral artery, medial circumflex femoral artery, and 3 perforating arteries. So this also course of these branches also you should learn in the profunda femoris artery. Perforators you can appreciate. First perforator artery lies above the adductor brevis muscle. Second perforator artery passes through the adductor brevis muscle. Third perforator artery passes below the brevis muscle. So all these perforators passes through first opening, second opening and third opening in the adductor magnus. Fourth opening is the continuation of profunda femoris artery. So these perforators each divide into ascending and descending branches which form a chain in the back of the thigh to supply the back of thigh. So now continue the femoral artery in the adductor canal. It enters the adductor canal from the apex of the femoral triangle, then leaves the canal through the fifth opening in the adductor magnus, so that it will enter the popliteal fossa as popliteal artery. So this is the cross section of the adductor canal. You can appreciate this is the roof of adductor canal. Then the contents are the femoral artery, femoral vein and 2 nerves, nerve to vastus medialis and saphenous nerve. So the relations of the femoral artery in the adductor canal: fibrous roof of the canal. So this is the fibrous roof of the canal which extends between the sartorius and the adductor magnus. Subsartorial plexus. So there is a plexus of nerves on the fibrous roof which will be formed by 3 branches from the saphenous nerve, obturator nerve and medial femoral cutaneous nerve. The subsartorial plexus may be asked as very short notes for you. Sartorius muscle on the roof. The saphenous nerve crossing anteriorly from lateral to medial side. In the femoral triangle, one nerve crossed from lateral to medial side is medial femoral cutaneous nerve. In the adductor canal, saphenous nerve. So these are the anterior relations. Posteriorly, femoral vein is in the upper part. It is lying posterior. Then the 2 muscles which form the roof of floor of adductor canal, that is the adductor longus and the adductor magnus muscles. Medially, saphenous nerve is medial to the this is the femoral artery in the adductor canal. So medial relation is the saphenous nerve in the lower part. Laterally, nerve to vastus medialis in the upper part, saphenous nerve in the upper part, femoral vein in the lower part. Now you should Now you should understand femoral vein starting in the femoral triangle, it was lying medial. Then it was lying posterior in the lower part of the triangle and in the upper part of the canal. Now it has come to the lateral side of the artery. Branches of femoral artery in the subsartorial canal. Subsartorial canal is the other name of the adductor canal, as it lies below the sartorius. Branches are unnamed muscular branches and descending genicular artery. Genicular means, genu means knee, descending to the knee. So it is called descending genicular. It arises from the femoral artery in the lower part of the canal and gives off a branch called saphenous artery. So now we have completed the femoral artery in detail. Origin, extent, course, relations of the artery in adductor canal and also in the femoral triangle, branches of the femoral artery in the femoral triangle and in the adductor canal. Now we will complete with the applied anatomy of femoral artery. Femoral pulse should be palpated in the mid-inguinal point. So you should know the mid-inguinal point correctly, and if you palpate, you can palpate the femoral artery. This is the femoral arteriogram image. So femoral arteriogram and femoral venogram. So if the catheter will be introduced into the femoral artery to reach the any part of the other arteries, or the femoral vein may be catheterized to reach the venous system. Ligation of femoral artery is done in adductor canal for treating the popliteal aneurysm. So this was the, if we have the aneurysm, that is the dilatation of the popliteal artery in the popliteal fossa, we have to ligate the femoral artery in the adductor canal. This was used first by the surgeon Hunter. So this canal is also called as Hunter's canal. If you have claudication and thrombosis, intermittent obstruction in young muscular males, that may the cause may be the artery may come in contact with the opening in the adductor magnus, that is the cause. And this femoral artery and femoral vein are used for embalming the cadavers in the dissection purposes. So these two arteries, if you see, the body is brought to the dissection lab, the technicians will dissect the femoral artery and femoral vein, and they will inject the embalming fluid through this arteries and veins. So this arteries, that also is one of the applied anatomy. So we have completed the femoral artery in detail, which is an important topic. I have used many pictures to make this